Hey guys, it's man back at it again with another Horizons review. And all I gotta say is this episode was a banger. So make sure you guys like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Let's get right into that review. Now, before anything else, I just want to say this episode had incredible animation. Like, incredible, like the best of the entire series of Horizon, and even better than a lot of old Pokemon episodes. But yeah, this episode picks up right where last week left off, but Dot instantly catches Quaxly, which is surprising because I already thought she owned it, but it was revealed that it was just on the ship, just hanging around her because it chose to. Makes sense why it also hung around Mumbo a lot, because no one officially owned the Pokemon, like how Fuecoco always hung around Orla and Freed before it was called Viroid. With Dot catching Quaxly, that leads us into one of the main aspects of this episode, Dot and Quaxly. Throughout the episode, we see Dot and Quaxly get along and officially be partners. And we see how their relationship is within battles and just casually, which is nice to see. Now, all three starters are with the trio. One thing I do wish about this part of the episode is that we got to see Murdoch's reaction to this. Murdoch has been trying to get Dot to break from her shell this entire time, and when she finally does, he doesn't even get to witness it, which is kind of sad. After this, everyone splits up trying to figure out what happened to the pendant when they realize that there is a cruise leaving Paldea. So they suspect that Spinel must be on it. So Freed goes to investigate where he finds someone who is from the Explorers, but one of Spinel's guys who has a Bisharp, and him and Pikachu have a battle, which is really cool. Like, Pikachu's Thunder Punch fighting against the Bisharp, taking it out, was really cool, and I love that part of the episode. And it's a good distraction for Freed while the rest of the group go off and start chasing down Spinel. But yeah, they end up finding Spinel thanks to Arboliva's Pokeball reacting to the pendant when they find it nearby. Dot is actually the first one to find where the pendant is, thanks to Quaxly paying attention to a truck driving by them earlier when the Pokeball glowed. But she's attacked by Behem and Magneton, and she calls for help. And that's when Liko and Roy step up and the trio all unite to fight off against Spinel. Now this scene was incredible. I love Liko and I really like Roy as of recent, and I just loved seeing them all work together and fight to take down Behem and Magneton. This is a trio right here. Not the Journeys trio where it's Ash, Go, sometimes Chloe. But no, this is a real trio. Three friends who have each other's backs, and they're going to fight together to the end. And that's what they do. They fight against Spinel and take him down. During this fight, this is where a lot of the best animation of this episode comes from, with all three standing up and working together to take down Spinel. Basically, all this being what their arcs led to throughout the series, especially Dot. Like, from where she started off a couple episodes ago being self-reclined in her room to now standing alongside her friends to fight off a villain, it's just really incredible seeing how she grew. Another very good detail in this episode is Fuecoco and Wattrel starting to butt heads, which is going to lead to their relationship being further expanded upon in the next episode. But due to the group standing at the Spinel, the pendant starts glowing and reacting to Liko, and even goes back to her. Now this is really interesting, seeing the pendant flying to Liko, and basically that's how Spinel's plan got ruined. Spinel had this foolproof plan that succeeded most of the part, because if that didn't happen, I don't see how they would have beat Umbreon, because Umbreon was actually doing work against all four of their Pokemon. At the moment, Spinel is like the most interesting Pokemon villain in general. Like, few really come close to him. I think Lysander's plan came close, and whatever Amphio was going to do once he comes back is going to be interesting. But since Spinel's introduction, seeing how he's been slowly gathering information and even like manipulated a situation where he can grab the pendant with ease and not having to fight like Amphio did, was just really good and shows how threatening he could be. Even in this episode, he loses in the end because the pendant awakens Arboliva, who fights him off and takes the rest away. and he just lets it happen. But he also ends up with a win, similar to Amifio. Amifio's win was more realizing a bigger threat in the Black Rayquaza and deciding to go hunt that instead, while Spinel's win is realizing something Amifio did early on that he hadn't even thought of, that the Pendant and Liko are strongly connected, and that's going to lead to more of his plans in the future. And that's where the episode ends off. There's obviously more, but like, in terms of Spinel, we don't know if we're going to see him again, because we are introduced to more explorers. After failing, all the admins have a meeting except for Amifio. I kind of wish we got to see him because he's just been gone. But yeah, all the explorers seem interesting, but there is one that stands out, the pink-haired girl. I think she's going to be the next main antagonist, and she definitely does catch eyes, and she seems like she's going to be a fan favorite. I already like her, and she seems interesting. I'm very curious how the rest of the free admins' plans are going to wind up. But yeah, after getting the pendant back, Freed meets up with the kids, and they all head back to the airship, where the episode ends on their part with Dot and Liko having a nice conversation about their friendship, and even Dot confirms to Liko that she is Needlefin. Finally, this running joke of Liko being too oblivious to realize is over, and Dot is finally ready to be a part of our main cast. But yeah, overall, I really like this episode. This episode reminds me a lot of the Rayquaza episode, where a lot happened with Roy catching Fuecoco on that one, and the explorers introducing of Spinel and all of that stuff. This is more the end of the Galar / Dot arc, and I loved it. Everything built up to this. Spinel, Dot, Liko, Roy, all incredible. The battle animation, and just everything beautiful. This is my favorite episode of Horizons at the moment of recording this, because if we do get a full 6-on-6 Nemona battle, or Iono battle, that might have to top it. You never know. But yeah, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. I'm so excited to see these new explorers and how they're going to impact the plot, and I also can't wait to see the trio of Roy, Liko, and Dot, and the rest of the Rising Volt tacklers as they explore Galar and unravel more mysteries about the Pendant, the ancient Pokeballs, and the Great Hero. But yeah, hope you guys like this video and subscribe for more content like this in the future. S-Man, signing off.